basketball. The Buckeyes are preparing for battle, and you're preparing to listen to them. Equally important, this is Fan Warmup.
The Fan Warmup Show is presented by the Ohio State University Army ROTC. Buckeyes lead the way.
All right, Buckeye basketball fans, we have been waiting a little bit for this one. You probably had it circled on the calendar, but maybe you didn't quite know how big of a game it would be when we got here. You wanted to see what this Ohio State basketball team was going to be about. You wanted to see if this was going to be a team in head coach Jake Diebler's first full season that would be vying for NCAA tournament position. Well, guess what? It is a big game. I think it's one of the biggest in 3 years. Certainly if you go into the last 2 seasons where, Chris Holtman's tenure was winding down, and now you're in this spot. It's February 16th. You've got a chance. You're in the NCAA tournament picture right now. And if you beat a top 20 Michigan, this is the first place team in the Big Ten Conference right now. Michigan is in first place. And we know all these details. We know all these storylines. Roddy Gale transfers away from Ohio State, goes to Michigan, of all places, maybe over some NIL dollars. Who the heck knows when it's the bottom line? Dusty May, we know Ohio State had conversations with him about being the head coach here. We chose Jake Diebler. That's a great storyline. It's a lot. Oh, yeah. It's just Ohio State, Michigan. Jake Diebler had been making a very big deal, and I'm very proud of him for doing it, to build up the basketball rivalry. A lot of people wonder and question what kind of buzz and what kind of passion and intensity some of the non-football Ohio State-Michigan rivalries have around here. I will tell you from coaches that I have spoken to around the block, to a coach, it sticks. It is that big. They do play it up. Jake Diebler certainly is playing it up. I love this from this week, too. Jake Diebler is, of course, from Northwest Ohio, which is sort of the battleground territory. And he had something funny from when he was growing up for how big of a deal Ohio State-Michigan games really were.
I remember growing up in Gibsonburg, Ohio, and at the Ideal Bakery had 2 cookies during the week of the game in the fall, and they sold 2 cookies, and they would tally which one sold the most at the end of the week, and it was neck and neck. Felt like every time. So that's what I remember growing up. Shout out Ideal Bakery in Gibsonburg, Ohio. But no, that was just, I think being in Northwest Ohio, there was a lot of that type of, like, it was very much both sides represented well.
Shout out Ideal Bakery. Still up there, right? I'm trying to picture what kind of cookie that would be. Probably your basic sugar cookie with a thin layer of icing colored in the team's, gold and blue or scarlet and gray. But here's Jake Diebler again on the magnitude of getting to play in games like this late in the season.
I have big aspirations, right, for this program, and I have not been shy about what the expectations and the standard is for this program. And, we've had certainly our fair share of adversity this season, but I'm really proud of the way this group has responded to that, and we're playing our best basketball really in the last, month or so. And we got to continue to do that. I've also said I don't feel like we've peaked yet. I feel like we still have, some room to continue to grow to reach that last level. And, we need to take a step forward here on Sunday.
They do. It is that big. I mean, the Buckeyes are still in this spot right now where if they lost the game today, puts you at 15-11, back under 500 in the conference standings. That's why they're still in this pocket of games for me where a lot changes based on one big game that pops up on the schedule. I was thinking the same thing when they went on the road to Illinois, and what an amazing opportunity that would have been. They didn't get it. I was thinking the same thing the next game against Maryland. They did get that one. That was huge to protect home court and beat Maryland when they were trailing by 17 points early in that first half. I think that showed some signs of what this Ohio State team possesses now that it didn't possess earlier in the season when they got routed by Maryland and got routed by Auburn. They could be trailing close to 20 points in a game. They were down, I want to say, by 15 points, at least 13 on the road at Purdue, and Mackey was rocking, and they took that punch. They came back against the Boilers, came back against the Terps, but they had another opportunity that they missed on the road at Nebraska. But if you look at those 2 road games at Illinois and at Nebraska, the Buckeyes were pretty good for 30-plus minutes of the game. It was just a little bit, and that's what it is. I think those are the teaching moments. You've got to be locked in. a lot longer in longer stretches of time when you're on the road as opposed to being at home. Now, for today's game, I don't even know if you can drop your guard for that long at home because it's an intense rivalry, and Michigan is on a 5-game heater, and they are 11-2 in Big Ten play, and that's mightily impressive, and they got 5 guys that can really score the basketball and do some things to it and break you down defensively, and I think Ohio State's defense, I continue to harp on that. Their numbers have been really good. They're a balanced team, too. Top 30 or hovering right around top 30 in both offense and defense, the Buckeyes right now. So hopefully they can show that. I think Micah Parrish, we had him on the Buckeye show this week. He's going to continue to be a key in being aggressive and taking those open threes when he's got it. Even, pump faking and going in close to the basket to score. He's shown that ability. A lot of good stuff from the top 4 guys for Ohio State here recently. Let's keep breaking it down. I know this guy hates Michigan too. Let's break down the Buckeyes with Ron Stokes.
It's time to go inside the Buckeyes with OSU basketball analyst and former captain Ron Stokes.
It just means more, Ron. It's time. You ready for this one today?
Yeah, for sure, Tim. I mean, we had a really, really festive former player captain dinner last night with some great words from Bill Hoskett about the history of Ohio State and just from the former players just talking about what this game means and also the fact that one of our own is on the other side this afternoon. So I expect the team to be focused, and Jake Diebler has clearly embraced this Ohio State rivalry. I mean, he's from Ohio. He knows, he understands it. So looking forward to the team coming out and playing well.
Am I going too far to say that the Roddy Gale thing might be more than a thing? Like for someone like Bruce Thornton and how locked in and laser focused you are in this one? Or am I overblowing that? It's just a game when it gets down to it.
Well, I mean, they're friends. I mean, I asked Bruce last night. They still stay in contact. In fact, they spoke the other day, and both teams stayed at the same hotel last night. But, I mean, clearly where Ohio State is standing, this is a very important game, whereas Michigan's at the top of the conference. So if I'm Bruce Thornton, he understands the importance of, you forego that friendship right now. It's about going out and try to do the best you can to help your team win.
And Bruce, we've seen, has been a guy that still, I mean, without question, is one of the most important pieces for this team. But as John Mobley has continued to score, as Micah Parrish has started to score a little bit more, this team has found out it still needs Bruce to score. Like, you kind of need all 3 of those guys going for great success to happen.
One of the things I said last night to the guys is that when they have the ability to play with anybody, when they're all locked in, and you think you got 3 guys that have gone over 30 points individually, and Bruce has done it 3 times, but you're talking about Micah Parrish and Devin Royal, and then you got some other players that clearly can put up impressive numbers in their own right. So I think, is there a must that Bruce needs to score big? Yeah, you'd want him to be involved, but I tell you, if you get Micah Parrish and Devin Royal doing what they are capable of doing, it relaxes the fact that we need Bruce to have a major game. So hopefully I'm right when I say that.
Yeah.
But I just want them to keep playing well together and keep growing.
Well, we seem to be talking a lot about Vlad Golden, who comes over from FAU with the coach, and Danny Wolf, and rightfully so, but maybe we've got to take a better look at Trey Donaldson and how important he has been to Michigan basketball. Just being the floor general, he can go off for 18 to 20 points. He can hit you with, 7 or 8 assists in a game, too, the transfer from Auburn.
Yeah, Tim, you're right on point. When he's not on the floor, the question is, can Michigan be as good as they are? And, he had a career high in his game here recently and had a big factor in that game against Penn State. And he scored the last 7 points for Michigan. But he is fired up. Big reason why they were able to beat Purdue, because he did not play his best in that first game against Purdue on the road, and he came out on fire and led them to that win. But you're absolutely right. That young man has been a big boost for this Michigan team this year.
Any traditions you would have before you get ready to lace them up against the Wolverines?
You don't realize how much you hate the school up north, the team up north, until you're losing to them. Or I mean, that's where it really sinks in. So clearly you're motivated. I was fortunate. I think it was my sophomore year. Paul was actually calling the game when he was calling for Michigan. I had a game winner.
Sure.
And so that was one of my highlights of my career. being part of beating the school up north.
Ronnie's game winner against Michigan. I know a lot of Buckeye fans remember that one. It is time to get it done. Maybe trail by 4 for a minute and then roar back and then storm the Wolverines. Can't wait for the pregame show coming up here in moments, Ron.
All right, Tim, go Bucks.
Go Bucks. The biggest go Bucks indeed for this season. It is the rivalry, Ohio State and Michigan on the basketball court at the Shot. If you're going there, get there safe. Tip-off is at 1 o'clock. 45 minutes of pregame coverage coming up next on The Fan.
You've been listening to Fan Warmup.
The Fan Warmup Show is presented by the Ohio State University Army ROTC. Buckeyes lead the way.
Stay tuned for Buckeye basketball on your flagship home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC. Buckeyes lead the way.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon.
Get ECO.
ECO.
Aaron, look what I invented.
Jerry, you're wearing a cape.
Get ECO.
ECO.
What is it that you promise our customers, Aaron?
We come through for you when you need us to.
Get ECO.
ECO.
Do you know who does that, Aaron?
We do?
Superheroes do that, Aaron.
Superheroes! I'm guessing you make capes for everyone?
That's right. Every plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician. But I'm not done, Aaron. I'm not done.
Get ECO.
ECO.
Now I'm inventing jetpacks so we can fly to the rescue like proper superheroes. Now say your line again.
We come through for you when you need us to?
No, say it like this. We come through for you when you need us to.
Get ECO.
ECO.
Jerry.
Yeah, Aaron?
How about we put those capes in the closet until you get the jetpacks perfected?
We'll look right when we take flight.
Get ECO.
ECO.
ECO. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmelt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not...
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be me.
No doubt about it, Columbus loves Apex Pros, the pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.